All right, let's find out from our studio panelists what the political parties are doing. Is it in line with the best practices? Let me begin with you, Ma. Would you say that the political parties are playing in line with the rules of the game?
No, I don't think so. One, the cost of the electioneering, the money they are spending on advertisement, starting from even paying for the forms, they are not playing by the rules. And coming to hate speeches across the parties, you hear it every day. No, and instead of presenting their manifestos, they are actually presenting hate speeches. Once in a while, they talk about change and corruption and others, talk about certificate age and whatever, but they've not made effort to tell Nigerians, this is what we have, my party wants to do to change this country for good. And because they have filled the whole air with noise, we have not been able to separate noise from the reality, and people, we have been down for so many years. And you know, the thing I think the APC have succeeded in doing is that it has made so many people to be interested in this election, including me. I didn't have a voter's card before. I have registered last year and I have my PVC and I want to vote. But I can't see the difference between APC and PDP.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Adegbola. Mr. Adegbola, she says your party, Dominic Adegbola, he says your parties have not played in line with the rules. Hate speeches here and there, and expenditure, campaign expenditure.
Yes.
You think she's right?
Let me give my own opinion.
Okay.
You see, campaign expenditure is something that we cannot actually monitor. It's not easy. It is the business of INEC to do that, and I expect INEC to do it. But just by looking at what is going on, you cannot actually say this is how much this party has spent on this particular item. So that one is a bit vague, neither here nor there. But you see, ideologies, manifestos, in the case of the PDP, there's no question about it that the president has been going about telling everybody what he has been doing and what he hopes to do to improve on what he has done. That is all that manifesto is about. What does your party plan to do? And for the case of the incumbent president, what have you been doing? He has talked about roads, infrastructure, he has talked about agriculture, the revolution in the aviation system, the oil, education, everything.
So why is it that nobody seems to hear these things you're talking about?
No,
these points you are lying now. Instead, what the electorate is hearing is the noise, as she says.
Well, maybe the noise is more than the issues that are being projected. But the fact remains that these things are being said on the campaign trails, on the television advertisements, radio advertisements. It's being said, at least by the PDP. The APC, probably because they've not been there, don't have much to show.
Okay.
PDP has a lot to show, and has been showing it.
All right, let's bring in Aisha Keita, women's leader, Northwest of the All Progressives Congress. Hello, Aisha. Aisha, are you there? Okay, while we're waiting for Aisha to join us on the phone, let me come back to you, Dominic. Your party, or it was out there in the public space, that your party raised about 22 billion naira for the presidential campaign, and the APC raised over that for their presidential campaign. But the Electoral Act says maximum for presidential expenses should be 1 billion naira, and you say you're playing in line with the rules.
Well, the party has not told us what it's going to do with the 22 billion naira. It has not told us what it has done with it. So INEC still needs to do some more work. Get the parties to lay out to give an outlay of their expenditures. It is then that we can now point fingers. But for now, INEC has not, maybe it has from the parties, I don't know. But it is the business of INEC to tell us. The fact that they raised 22 billion naira does not mean they spent 22 billion naira.
Okay.
And whatever they did with it, we have to know first.
Okay.
Before we can point out.
What do you think is responsible for the hate speeches you talked about earlier?
I think what is responsible for the hate speeches is that, since the return to civilian rule in 1999, the political class have failed Nigeria. They believe that might is what it takes, especially with AK-47, to take power and trample on the rights of Nigerians and the Nigerian nation. 16 years on, from all the 36 states, you cannot see things you can point at, indicators, and say, yes, we have what we fought for and our people died for democracy is really working.
Is the Electoral Act not a workable document in terms of like guiding the conduct of the politicians and political parties towards the elections?
In Nigeria, both the grand non-constitution or Electoral Act, no politician respects it. They are not being respected. So they can talk about it when it suits them. But in actual fact, they are not respecting it. It's not working. And INEC also has not helped in that direction to make it work. So politicians behave anyhow. What they are interested is in power, how to capture power for their own selfish interests, their own agenda, not for Nigeria or for Nigerians.
Okay, Mr. Dominic, do you agree with that you politicians do not respect the Electoral Act?
Okay. To some extent, yes, maybe. But I think...
You do not respect it?
To some extent, yes. There are some areas that the Electoral Act is not, with regards to campaign hate speeches in quotes. Now, but you see, it did not depend on what we mean by hate speeches. Some of these things may not sound well, but they are facts. Like the case of education, that this certificate that we were talking about.
Hold on, Mr. Dominic. Yeah. Some of these things may not sound well. But
they may not sound acceptable to those who the matter is referred to. It's not pleasant to them, but facts are facts.
But are those the kind of facts that should be coming forth now, instead of issues that have to do
with what you want to
give to the people? Your manifesto.
These things come up together. Issues must come up. Also, these facts must be alluded to, so that the people will know the kind of persons, characters they want to vote for as their leaders.
So shouldn't the hate speeches be tied to the manifesto instead of individuals, or, as you say, the facts that are personal?
They are tied to manifestos. We want a good leader. We want leaders that have character. And so if you feel that a leader is deficient in a particular aspect, it's your duty to let the electorates know that this particular leader is deficient in this particular character. And it is not left to that character to defend himself and tell the world, tell the electorates that it is not true. I have character. I have certificate in this particular case.
Okay, all right. We're still hoping we'll be able to get in touch with Aisha Keita, women's leader, Northwest Zone of the All Progressives Congress. We've been trying to reach her all evening. Hopefully she will join us in the course of the conversation. Now, what he said about the Electoral Act and the fact that there are facts that need to be alluded to, how would you put the two together?
The danger in hate speeches is the implication of it. Because
implication before, after the election?
After both during, before and after election.